Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're back with another episode of Monster Hunter Wilds, and this is what I find really interesting about this game is that it's more open world. So instead of having to start a mission and enter a load screen, we just run right out from camp. Today, though, we're fighting a group of 3 monsters. However, our primary target is the alpha. The goal would be to get the smaller monsters to run away, but I'm not entirely sure how to do that, so we're just gonna roll with it. If you're enjoying the content, though, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this.
That alpha is our target. The quest will begin once you've dealt enough damage to it.
Got it.
What the heck is this that I'm looking at? What is this, Monster Hunter World's Attack of the Low-Res Monsters? I guess today we're fighting a group of Porygons from Pokemon. This game is definitely in need of some work, but let's just roll with it. Maybe it'll be a bit more challenging if we can't actually see the attack animations properly. This is wild though, I've never seen a beta test with such severe graphical errors straight out at the beginning of the game. Typically the start of the game is front-loaded with the best quality content, so I'm actually really surprised to see this. But anyways, I decided to switch out my weapons for this fight, and I'm actually using the dual blades as well as the bow. Apparently in this game you can use multiple weapons and switch in between them, which I find super cool. It opens up the possibility for a lot of new combos. I think this is actually a group of bear-like monsters, but that doesn't change the fact that my primary target is still just going to be the alpha, or the main, biggest bear. I'm going to start off using the dual blades in this fight. Like the longsword was, the dual blades are also one of my favorites, and so hopefully I can pull off some pretty cool combos with them. Just like in the last mission though, it seems like the quest begins extremely late, well after leaving the camp. Hopefully that gets fixed before the main release, because it's pretty weird to see that after you already started fighting the monster. The fact that we have 3 monsters here makes this fight much more difficult. You really have to plan each and try to keep your distance. I guess it's a good thing I brought the bow with me, although I don't exactly know how to switch to it yet, but having a ranged weapon seems like it's a good move for this fight. For now though, I'm going to keep using the dual blades because I really like them and I just want to see what they can do.
We need to separate them.
Using large duck pods can force the pack to disappear.
If only I had spent a little bit of time actually learning the controls before jumping into this fight. I might actually know how to use my slinger. Seems like the way to separate these guys would be to use a flash pod and slinger, but I've forgotten most of the controls, so here we are. We're just going to fight all 3 of them. And just as I get ready to fight and activate demon mode, old boy decides he wants to run away. Maybe this will work out in our favor though if he breaks off away from the rest of the other 2. I still haven't used any of the SOS flares, and ideally I don't want to use them, but this game is really trying to push me to start using them.
My whiskers are tingling. Weather's changing. Leave this to me. Heels and down.
Interestingly enough, as soon as I switched to the bow, it seems like their behavior changed and they started to get more aggressive, charging me and getting more in my face, not letting me actually keep distance. Jeez, these guys really aren't letting me get any distance at all with the bow. I might need to switch back to the dual swords just so I can get up close and personal with them again. I'm also trying to focus primarily on the alpha and ignore the other 2. If only I had some sort of like flash pod or something like that, you know, to disperse the group. Maybe shoot it out of some sort of, I don't know, slinger. That's ridiculous though, just crazy thinking. These bear things are actually starting to work me over pretty decently though. I'm gonna have to start using my health potions to stay alive. I do wish though that the graphics weren't so janked with these guys. I'm sure it'd be a lot cooler of a fight if we could actually see what the bears look like. It also is pretty difficult to read their animations when they barely have any animations to begin with. No wonder Porygon was such a legendary Pokemon. Nobody was able to read his movements. And for everyone's reference, I'm using an NVIDIA RTX 4070 and I updated my graphics drivers before playing this game, and it's still looking this jacked up. The sad thing is I can't tell if this white crap on my character is some sort of effect from the area, or if it's just another graphical bug. I understand this is a beta test and everything probably isn't completely finished, but I would anticipate that they had the start of the game pretty polished, especially if this is what they were showcasing in the beta. The game is also coming out in less than 2 weeks at time of recording, so realistically they don't have much time to fix these issues. I'm seeing a lot of bad stuff. I also can't tell if I'm even doing damage to this monster. Would the scars and damage even show up with such a pixelated mess? I guess all I can do though is just heal up and keep on fighting. Somehow I triggered a lightning effect off my blades. I guess this is some sort of step up from the demon mode. It's pretty cool though, I like the effect. These bears would toss me around like a ragdoll though right now. I need to be able to get in and get out without taking hits every time. I've got a limited number of health potions at this point, and I shouldn't be just sitting there wasting them. At this point, we're chasing the bear again. We managed to whittle his health down enough so he's separated away from the rest of his other two bears, running off into this direction. Hopefully we manage to keep him alone for a while and can get some really good hits in on him. This other monster popped up as we were approaching though. It appears like it's going to fight the Polygon Bear. If we're lucky, it might be able to do a lot of damage to it, which help us kill it a lot quicker. It does also look like the bear's taking some noticeable damage now at this point, with the appearance of some white scars showing up all over its body parts. I'm guessing that if the model wasn't broken on this guy, that they would actually look like scars or maybe scratches. I definitely feel like the dual blades were the way to go with this guy. Once I can get up close to him, I can absolutely just shred him with the multiple attacks. And at this point, he's got very little armor, so each hit's doing a pretty considerable amount of damage. Problem with the dual blades, though, it's very easy to just want to keep attacking forever, and that opens you up to be hit very easily. I wonder if Polygon Bird out in the distance is going to get involved. It's crazy to see multiple monsters though with broken models this close to release. It seems like they got the attack patterns down pretty decently though for the monsters, and having packs with an alpha is a pretty cool feature. If we just had working models, I feel like this would be a very solid Monster Hunter game. I also really like the fact that you can attack while mounted. I wonder if that would work for any of the ranged weapons and you could just use it to keep distance. Uh-oh, here comes the Polygon Bird. I wonder what he can do. Looks like he's got some sort of electric effect off his head. Is this a bird or is this some kind of dragon? I have no idea.
There are other monsters.
I feel like I should probably stay away from this guy while he's in the mix. He seems pretty dangerous. I don't know if I'm up for that fight right now. I'm already fairly low on potions and don't know if those other two bear things will come back. And in hindsight, realistically, if they're fighting, it'd probably be better just to leave them be so I don't deter them. Yep, just like I expected. Before I was even able to finish that thought, he's already flying away. Damn. At least he gave me plenty of time to recover and sharpen my weapon. My mount really should be a little bit more careful. He seems like he's standing right in the way. I'm starting to feel like when my character turns white, it's affected me rolling through the sand. However, it really looks more like snow, or just kind of like paint is all over me. Does everyone else who's been playing this game also notice the same kind of graphical issues, or is it something on my end? Although I did update my graphics driver, but this just seems way off. It looks like old boy is getting pretty weak. He's got scars all over his body at this point. He's moving a lot more erratically though at this point. I feel like this is maybe his final phase potentially. It's really hard to tell given I can't actually see what he looks like. But if I could describe it, it's almost like when the Antonath from the Monster Hunter Worlds lifted up his sail and started breathing fire. Basically the same situation. I feel like for the most part though, I'm getting a lot better at actually aiming at the monster and hitting it more often. However, this guy's way more erratic and quick than the first boss was. I just hope that we don't run into those other two bear things before this fight's over. Because if I have to fight all three of them like this, then it's going to be a real issue. I feel like he's starting to limp, but I can't really tell because of how pixelated he is. But it definitely seems like he's moaning and complaining more now than what he was. Also, I'm just now noticing that he's got a horn or something on his head. Is old boy a bear rhino? 'Cause if so, that would be sick. I'm gonna give the bow another shot while he's alone. Maybe it'll work out a little bit better and I'll be able to learn some of the combos. Right now I'm kind of just doing the default shot, and I'm really struggling to stay within the optimal distance for the bow, just because this bear is rushing me so frequently. I'd like to be able to shoot off the hailstorm or the piercing shot though. Those both seem like they would be pretty good abilities. The standard basic shot though seems pretty good though with the bow. It's just a matter of staying within the optimal range. I can't be too close and I can't be too far. Otherwise the damage will drop off pretty quickly. I still can't reliably pull off any of the combos despite having the keystrokes right up top and seemingly pressing them in order. I'm sure it's just a skill issue though, that would get better with time. I feel like this pack of monsters wasn't meant to be fought this early on. This fight's been dragging on for a while. This guy's super tough. And not tough in the sense that he's just hard to fight, just tough that he's got a lot of health. Loki just said he's looking weak though, so that's a good sign. I'm glad I didn't use the longsword for this fight. While it's still one of my favorite weapons, I feel like it just wouldn't have been quick enough to deal with this guy. At least not with how I was using it earlier. It's still going to take me some time to figure out the combos and get better with it. The dual blades on the other hand are reliable as always. Super quick, do a lot of damage, and can easily get in and out. The bow I really want to like, but I'm not really loving it so far just because I haven't gotten any of the combos off. But I'm going to keep working at it. The Polygon Bird wants to square up with me, but I don't really want to fight with him right now. I don't have the time or the health potions to deal with him and the bear. I'm just glad that those other two bears haven't jumped back into the fight. My mount doesn't seem like he's in any rush to catch up now. Previously he was on my tail at all points, but now he just seems like he's hanging out in the back somewhere. Oh man, I really shouldn't have said anything. Back to the three bears again. It's alright though, the alpha's super weak at this point, so if I just focus him, I should be able to take him out relatively quickly. The trick here will be to avoid those other bears, that way I don't get killed quickly. I'm running kinda low on health potions, so I need to play safe. Jeez, these bears are drooling like crazy when they roar. You can even see it when they're low pixel. It's crazy. I anticipated they would have looked pretty cool if the model wasn't broken. I don't know what he's doing right now. It looks like he's just stuck into the wall. Which works out well for me. I'm just going to chop him up with these dual blades. Thankfully the other two bears have kind of hung back while I've been fighting the main alpha. I don't know if Loki's been holding them back or if they're just chilling, but I appreciate it. I wonder how I got into that lightning mode though previously in the start of this fight. If I could pull that off again before this fight's over, I think that'd be pretty cool. Ugh, old boy's on the run again though. I wish he would just hang around so we could fight him and kill him. I mean, I get it. I wouldn't want to hang around either if I was being murdered, but still though, I mean, he's a bear. He's got like big teeth, sharp claws. He should be a little bit less scared. He even outnumbers me as well. Although, I mean, he is pretty weak at this point. You know, he's probably just running to save his life. I didn't send out any SOS flares and it looks like someone still joined. I wonder if that's to do with the timer or if these beta matches are just open lobbies. But I find that kind of interesting. I wonder if more people are going to start joining now that the other guy came. Either way though, this bear has no chance now if there's multiple hunters. I managed to pull off that lightning ability again though. I don't know how exactly to trigger it, but it's super cool and it does a lot of damage every single time. When I'm in this mode, it seems like I can just shred constantly without slowing down. This other random guy who joined is also using dual blades. I wonder what his fighting style will be like compared to mine, or if he's got any of the combos mastered. Or perhaps he'll end up being just as janky as I am. We'll see. Oh yeah, even with such a broken model, he's limping hard. He's not going to be able to get very far. I wonder if I'll even be able to shoot him with the bow while he's running away. Probably not. He still looks like he's way too quick for me to catch him. But at least I was able to grab a little bit of health along the way. Alright, at this point I'm done chasing him. This is where he's gonna die, whether he likes it or not. The random guy actually mounted the bear. I guess he managed to jump off his mount and then land onto the bear. And now he's doing damage up there. That was a pretty good move. Man, this bear is really fighting like a wounded animal would. They did a really great job with that. He's just thrashing around, throwing me like crazy. I'm struggling just to get anywhere near him to get a hit in. Might be time to switch to the bows to see if I can get a good last few hits on him. I was able to trigger the lightning ability one more time though, and our partners used demon mode. Between the two of us, we're absolutely shredding this guy. I can't really blame him for freaking out. He knows his time is up. I hope our weapons are just relatively weak for this fight though, otherwise this bear has an absolute crazy amount of health. He's been fighting for a solid 15 minutes, and hasn't really slowed down at all. He's been limping a little bit, but that's just been very minor compared to the whole fight. I guess it's time for my final thoughts with the beta. Overall, I think it was a pretty good Monster Hunter game. The combat feels good, although it definitely is going to take some practice to get used to. As well, each monster's mechanic felt unique and they didn't seem to bug out at all. They all operated pretty well. On top of that, I really do love the open world design. Less load screens are always a win in my books. However, now we need to talk about the elephant, or rather bear, in the room. For a game coming out in less than 2 weeks, I would have expected much cleaner models and less bugs. It seems like there's a handful of the monsters, just absolute broken models. Hopefully that's just some sort of visual bug on my end, but either way, it seems like a really bad look to have that in your beta test 2 weeks out from launch. My system isn't at all unique, and I've got more than enough horsepower to run this game. But for the most part, I feel like that's relatively minor compared to how most games are released these days. I'm sure that I'll get those models fixed ASAP, hopefully before the release. Anyways though, that's where I'm going to end things off for today. If you enjoyed the content, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you all for watching.